Well, hello, good morning, and welcome to Bill Ricardi's Weekly Patreon Update. I, of course, am Bill Ricardi, a creator and purveyor of fantasy novels. What do we have going this week? Talk a little bit about vacation, because, that's the sleeping elephant in the room, as it were, which went fairly well, but we'll cover that. Then, we'll talk about what's starting next week, which is Book 3 of the Ihy Saga. Very exciting stuff there. Finally, we'll talk about goals for 2020 and what I'm doing to prepare for those goals. Let's start. Vacation was great. Thanks for asking. We all took care of each other here in Belfast. Hoping for a continuation of a nice, peaceful holiday season, and looking forward to the challenges ahead. And there will be many challenges ahead, but we're keeping a positive face here as much as possible. Now, the sound in the background, of course, is Loki going crazy with one of his ping pong balls. He's both an inspiration and an annoyance, as always. Let's talk a little bit about Book 3 of the Ihy Saga. We've got a name, we've got a full plot, of course. Everything's all plotted out. It's just going to be a matter of writing the thing. And urban fantasy tends to be a faster writing process than fantasy for several reasons. First of all, I can use kind of normal English language to convey my thoughts in a modern parlance. Second of all, the vast majority of the lore is real history, plus what I've added on as far as Egyptian history / the little bits of world history that I've modified, but it all leads to a very similar, if not same, modern day. So I don't have to worry about a lot of, fancy backstories or things of that nature. I know what's going on. It's all firmly in my head. The modifications are very slight to the real world. So it's a much easier, much faster writing process. I'm hoping to be done by March. That is my goal. So, Book 3 opens, again, with the scene from the eyes of a god, which is the same thing as Book 1 and Book 2 did. A god in man's flesh, a god in woman's flesh for Book 2. And in the third book, we also have a god who is posing as a human. I'm going to leave it as a surprise as to who we're talking about here, but it is someone you've been introduced to before. Afterwards, we kick right into an action scene, and we've got an invitee in. Someone from perhaps the short stories found elsewhere? We've got a little tandem scene going on between godsons and their hosts. So, that should be a lot of fun. And that's the opening for the third book. We open with a bang, not a whimper. Actually, the introduction of the god is also a bang, not a whimper. So it should be a fairly action-packed start to the third book of the series. And I say third book of the series instead of final book of the trilogy because the Ihy Saga is not a trilogy. The Ihy Saga continues after book 3, although it might have some cast changes, as it were. A new focus, but we'll have plenty of the characters that you know and love in book 4, continuing and driving the saga forward. So the Ihy Saga does not end after book 3, although it is a comfortable place to take a rest. It's a comfortable place to pause. But it then continues. So unlike my fantasy stuff, I don't plan out the Ihy Saga in trilogies. I plan it out in arcs that can be easily picked up and continued as a single flowing story. So it's great, we always have something to look forward to. It's very rare that a bunch of your favorite characters disappear like they do between the Panos novels Trilogy 1 and Trilogy 2. But that's okay. It's a different style, and I really like it, particularly for urban fantasy. That's what's going on starting next week. Let's talk about starting this year. 2020 has come. 2019 is gone. What are we focusing on this year? Money. We're focusing on money, ladies and gentlemen. More sales. More different kinds of avenues to offer my books. Possibly looking at audiobooks. Also looking at relaunching myself in the urban fantasy side of things, in a similar way that I did with Another Stupid Spell, I need to now promote Rhythm. That may mean discounting Rhythm after the third book comes out. That may be making it free after the third book comes out, to introduce people to the story and the arc. But what it definitely means is grouping the first 3 books as Arc 1 and offering that as a single box set. So look forward to that as well. So there we go. That is kind of what I'm looking forward to in 2020, is increasing my productivity, looking at new avenues to offer my books, particularly in the audiobook realm, and just growing on what we've already done. I've also, as I mentioned during my vacation, experimented with some side projects. If those work out, I may be working more under a pen name. We'll see what happens, and then we'll have to decide how that applies to Patreon. Right now, it's all done in my spare time. If I start using real writing time for that, we're going to have to talk about who's actually interested in the kind of stuff I put out in my pen name. But that's for later. For the moment, I'm really focused on the Ihy Saga, and I'm hoping to finish it March time and have it out by early April. That is the initial roadmap. So we'll see how that goes. That's it from me. Belfast is freezing here. 3 degrees last I checked. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. But yeah, we're pretty close to freezing over here. Hopefully, we're going to have a warmer rest of the day. And I hope wherever you are, you stay safe and temperate, and you look out for one another, because that is the key. That's it for now, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.